മൂന്ന് പതിറ്റാണ്ട് നീണ്ട ആഭ്യന്തര യുദ്ധം അതിൽ നിന്ന് ശ്രീലങ്കയെ മോചിപ്പിച്ച പട നയിച്ച ഫീൽഡ് മാർഷൽ ശരത് ഫോൻസെക്കയാണ് ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ അതിഥി. വെൽക്കം ടു ന്യൂസ് 18 Network, sir. I've read somewhere that you were very critical of the government in Parliament and that you made a statement that had this fiasco happened anywhere else in the world, the entire government would have quit. Were those your words? Do you still subscribe to that view?
Yes, I am not saying the entire government should quit, but obviously those who are in the Security Council should take the responsibility, especially the Defence Minister, because he has to take the overall responsibility for this. He can't put the blame on various others down the line. And what I meant was, in any other country, Defence Minister will definitely vacate if something like this has happened.
Well, we all now know that there has been specific intelligence inputs, actionable inputs, including specific targets, but all woke up after tragedy struck.
Yes, we hear that this event has been reported, confirmed by intelligence people. Even we hear that it has come from our neighbors also, via the embassies. So there was no reason for anyone to ignore it. Anyone who is concerned about the defense and the security of the country can't be so negligent and can't react with so much of callousness. So obviously they have neglected their duty. And I also hear that even before that, during last 2 years in the Security Council, this matter has been mentioned by the security authorities more than about 15 times. But every time this was taken up, I hear the reaction from the President, the Defence Minister, has been almost very negative, and there has not been any reaction, no response from him. So they have totally ignored this threat, and they have taken security for granted, and they have given least priority for security.
Was it because they had other considerations like politics or certain vote bank?
Yeah, the politics does not mean that it must override the security concerns. If somebody sitting at the Defence Council does not realize that he is not fit to be there, so anybody who is supposed to be responsible for the security of the country, defence of the country, should have that much of maturity or the understanding to take this matter seriously. I think it is not due to political reasons, obviously due to the careless attitude of the people. They have neglected this because they have not been responsible people. They are not reacted in a responsible manner.
Now, it's on record that several youngsters from Sri Lanka had gone to Syria, Afghanistan to be part of IS. Yes. And they came back. Prime Minister has now gone on record saying there is no law in Sri Lanka to deal with people with terror links.
No, in the past we have dealt with terrorism in this country. So there can't be, I don't see any reason why that law is not applicable. That law was good enough to handle any situation, any scenario threatening the security of the country. So I don't see any reason why, as far as you are a citizen of this country, you can go anywhere else and commit any offence and come back. Then you can be taken to task. As far as you are a citizen of this country, you are bound by the laws of the country, and you can't anyway resort to terrorism. That's out of question.
The President has said that the morale of the forces were down following the interference of human rights groups, blaming the military officers. Do you think so?
No, it is not the case. I think he has not understood the situation in the military. If there are allegations against military, even in the past, there have been allegations against individuals. They never point the finger at military as a whole. These are the allegations leveled against some individuals. Of course, even I am not getting visas to some countries because they think I am most responsible because I was the commander of the army. Of course, that is very unfair. But just because there are people, couple of people who have committed various offences, I don't think the military as a whole will be demoralized. It has never been the case in the army. These are the politicians who are trying to make up various stories. By doing that, actually, they are tarnishing the image of the military indirectly by trying to paint various pictures about the military. But that is not the case with the military. Some people blame President also. Some police officers have been saying that even he has interfered with some of the issues. So it is very unfair of him to try to put the blame on various others, and he thinks he can wash his hands off. But the people will not accept it. People are not so foolish in this country. They are watching what's going on. Overall responsibility comes to President. He can't deviate from that. If he is not in a position to take the blame and say that he is overall responsible, that means he does not know his responsibilities. He has even up to now not realized that he is the man responsible.
So would you then ask the President to step down then, owning of responsibility?
Yes, he has failed in his responsibility, definitely.
He must step down.
Yes, definitely. He should do it. I mean, now he is saying that he will finish this in 2 months, 3 months and various stories. But then by doing that, you can't give the life back to those who lost the life. You can't give the relations back to those who are related to these people. You can't give the children back to their parents who lost their children. What about the children who lost their parents? Now taking action is not going to compensate to what these people have already lost. And what about the psychology of the whole country now? Everybody is worried. Everyone is concerned about security now. But even today, there's information which has come to our VIP security section saying in about another week's time, there will be bombs going off in a couple of places around Colombo. So when that is the situation, how can President take it very lightly?
Is there a vacuum at the top leadership level? Are we seeing a lack of strong leadership for Sri Lanka?
Yes, because there are people, what I can see, these leaders, so-called leaders, they are giving priority for their own political agendas rather than giving priority for the requirement, the necessities of the country. So security is priority one. Then even otherwise I see last couple of years, a lot of things have been neglected in the country. Even the economy has not done very well. Of course, we had political problems also in the country last year, towards the end of last year, like where there have been various situations, chaotic situations, but somehow or other the country has suffered as a result of it. So the top people will have to take care of this, especially if security is neglected in this country, which has suffered for last so many years, and we eradicated the terrorism only 10 years ago, and people could enjoy the freedom and they could mind their own business only 10 years. Now again we are faced with a serious situation. So politician definitely responsible for this. When you say politician, obviously there are those who have to take responsibility and lead the country. So they have failed in that mission.
How did it find fertile soil in a place like Sri Lanka? Islamic, radical Islam.
The Muslim terrorism, radical terrorism is there all over the world now. So there was no reason why it could not approach the Muslim youths here. But that is not the case. The government should have been more alert to this, and there have been intelligence reports, and the government had taken everything for granted after the LTT terrorism was eliminated. And especially I continuously blame President for this situation. He has been there for the last 3.5 years, and he has been heading the Security Council. And the Prime Minister says he was not there for the last 6 months. Then President should have inquired why Prime Minister is not there, without conducting the Security Council with some henchmen who are in the opposition. So likewise, things have not happened in the proper manner. You can see the Security Council, they have taken it as a joke, and they have had a council, but I would not call it Security Council, because it has not done the security job properly, but they have been doing politics there most probably.
Has the reported Cold War between the President and the Prime Minister led to a chaotic situation?
No, but this situation, this movement has been getting organized for during last, I think, I feel it about 7-8 years. So total period of 4 years with our government. Also this may have been going on. And the intelligence people, the security people, they say that they have been informing the people. They have kept the people informed. But the political leadership never took it seriously. So that is why finally most probably everything ended up in a chaotic situation here.
The Army Chief told News 18 Network that there is definite information that the chief perpetrator, Mohammed Zaran, had travelled to many parts of India. Do you also have any such information? If so, why he must have been doing this? What is the India connection according to information you have received?
No, I mean their roots are not in India basically. They are being advised and led by those who are in the Middle East. So they must be having some of their people, they must have infiltrated into some areas in India also. So these people must be conniving with their counterparts in the other countries. So likewise they must be having some connection obviously, because these two countries are so close to each other. So whatever happens here, whether it is terrorism or in political situation, it can have consequences in the neighboring countries also. So likewise, most probably, if we had the problem here, you can't totally give clearance and say that there is nothing in India, because there is a large Muslim community in that country also. And now Muslim community may have been in close association with the community in India also.
The war, the civil war and the threat from LTTE has been wiped out. Do you think those dormant infrastructure spread across those areas could have been exploited or utilized by the new terror outfit?
I don't think so, because these two populations will not, even the youths or the politicians will not connive for a purpose like this, most probably. I don't think that they had some influence on these people. These people must have been definitely influenced and controlled by their masters in Arab countries. Their loyalties are there, most probably.
What about the India angle, sir? There are some observers in India who think that Sri Lanka doesn't trust India as much as before, which is why they come up with the Chinese angle, the Pakistan angle. Have we lost that trust, or how do we go forward from here?
No, our relationship with India most probably, it was never strained during the recent past. Even during the last stages of war, we had very good relationship. But India has its own political concerns and sentiments. India also has a mixed population, so they will be very careful when they want to get involved in the various situations in other countries. But I think our relationship with China was mainly under the pressure of various economic requirements, like some of the major projects where India was not interested in some places. Probably China obviously will not try to distribute everything free of charge. They must be having their own agenda, also political agenda. But if we have to benefit out of something, we also will have to give and take. We can't expect anything to come free like the cheese in the rat trap or something. So under those circumstances, obviously during the last government, I am wondering whether we were exceeding limits at the time.
Right.
But when you wanted to beg and borrow from China, we had no limits because I believe the previous government benefited in different ways when we were getting large amount of money as loans, etc. So the other things also would have been, from what we hear, like commissions and various things also would have been worked out. So I think the China and their the goodwill towards us, some people saw it as a very lucrative opportunity. So that's why I think things went beyond control at times. But with India, most probably, it's a different situation. India also still trying to raise its head. India is a developing country, regional power. So how you look at our country will be obviously different from the way any other country looking at our country. So due to various reasons, things would have been a little different.
Now this port built with Chinese aid is now being leased out to China itself. Is Sri Lanka in a sort of debt trap?
Yeah, to a certain extent, we realized that it was a little difficult for us to handle with so much of money which we had borrowed. The interest rates and various problems are there. So government are looking around way out of this problem, at least to get the installments reduced and the interest rates reduced, because I think it came to a stage where it was not manageable for us. So as a result, I think they had to work out a different system.
Didn't India come or rise to the occasion when Sri Lanka wanted funds for development? Was India approached? Did India offer any help?
In different ways, like the development work in North, especially the housing requirement, huge numbers, I think about 80,000 houses required. The India has come forward. Also developing railway tracks and things like that, the India gave a lot of assistance. Now I think there are discussions going on about the Mattala airport, lending it out to Indians. So those projects are basically huge projects, what is under discussion at the moment. So likewise, I think there will be a lot of commitments in time to come.
So do you think India stands a good chance of operating this new airport?
Yeah, the government has taken, the cabinet level, government has agreed to give it to India.
Do you think the course of the nation's politics is now going to change? Before this terror attack and post this terror attack, how is it going to change the politics?
I think the people are very concerned about this. The people are not happy about what has happened. So even ourselves, we are not happy. I am not happy personally about what has happened. Those who are responsible but trying to wash their hands off. And people are also most probably losing faith on them. So therefore, definitely there will be changes in time to come. There are elections also coming in the near future. So who will contest, who can win, various things are being discussed at the moment, most probably, not only among the politicians, in the general public. So the things will make a big impact. The events will make a big impact in the future outcome of political issues, various issues which will take place in the country in the near future.
Would you be stepping ahead and contesting the presidential elections?
No, there is nothing like that actually. I am a member of the United National Front, the main party, United National Party, I am a member of that. So the party will have decided on the contestants, the nominations. So party will have to, I think, consider many more things now. Anyway, under the prevailing situation, again we are in a situation where the security is threatened in the country. So the people also will be most probably in a situation like this. They are not only worried about their stomach, they are worried about their safety and other things.
Now, there were reports about a large number of MPs meeting the president and requesting that you be made the cabinet minister for law and order and internal security. Were there any such suggestions made to you?
One of the members who went there told me very casually, the president has given a very short and sweet reply. He is supposed to have said that if the ministry is given to me, he will be the man first to be arrested or something. So if that is his attitude, if he is so scared of giving the ministry to me, I don't know whether he can look at this positively or whether he will think about the country and give the ministry back. If that is his thinking, obviously I am not going to arrest anybody who has not committed any offence. If I am the minister, even if I am not the minister, anybody who has committed any offence will have to come under the purview of the law of the country. So that is his thinking. But I feel, if I am given the responsibility, I should be able to handle the situation better, and I am sure I will look after the interests of the people.
So the president is scared of Field Marshal Sarath Fonseka.
Yeah, what happens is that's normal. That is natural on one hand. When somebody does not know his job, you are scared of everybody else.
Now the government then gave you one task. You executed it to perfection and you ended up in jail. Any regrets? How did this happen? How did you come out of it?
It happened due to the corrupt, the political thinking of those who were in power at that time. But people taught them a lesson for that. They also are realizing it now. They are regretting actually. But I don't regret. I started a political career. I was ready to face any eventuality. Under any circumstances, I was ready to proceed. So I think going to jail was part of it. And it made me also educated on different aspects, different angles. So I don't regret about it. I think it was part of my political career.
Frank and forthright. That was Field Marshal Sarath Fonseka talking to News 18 Network. Thank you for spending your time with News 18 Network.
Thank you very
and
much.
all the best for you and for the nation.
Okay.